Today's adventure is making lumpia. Well, sort of. We're rolling lumpia with our friend Jennifer. She is on a pay down her debt challenge, and we get to join her today. We're gonna link her channel, and then you can find out and follow her challenge to pay down some debt by selling lumpia. And my mom and I are so excited to learn how to actually roll lumpia. We've never rolled it before. We've only eaten it. So yay, we're super excited.
I brought my rolling pin and then learned that wasn't what I needed to do.
All we need are our hands, apparently, I think. Okay, great. So thanks for joining us today, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, so the first thing, since you guys are here to roll lumpia, the first thing that you guys will want to do is crack open an egg into our little bowl. The egg actually helps seal the lumpia wrapper.
Is this a raw egg or?
It's a raw egg. It is raw. So the egg actually helps us seal the lumpia wrapper, and then you're going to take a spoon and you're going to scramble up that egg really good. I'm gonna make you guys do everything today because, you know, I do this all the time. Y'all are here to learn.
You're here to help, so yes.
Okay, so I actually, when I was taught how to roll lumpia, I actually was taught by using a cornstarch and water method. Now, when I roll my vegetarian lumpia, I use the cornstarch and water, obviously, because I'm an egg. I like to make sure that it's vegan. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and so the other thing that I switch out with my vegetarian recipe is it calls for oyster sauce, so I switch it out with a homemade teriyaki sauce so that it is also vegan.
That must be why I love the vegetable version so much.
So, egg is how we seal our wrappers, and these are our wrappers here. If you guys want to check out my channel, the description is in the link below, the link is in the description below. And it lists all of the materials that you're going to need. We open up our wrappers. These have been defrosting for about 30 minutes. And I don't put them in the microwave to defrost. I let them air defrost, because they get really hard. So if you guys want to check out the texture of these wrappers, texture is important when it comes to rolling. So there's 25 wrappers in a pack, which is really interesting.
They're very thin, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very super thin. Almost like a linen texture, like a heavy linen texture if you're a sewer.
Do they tear easily?
They do.
Well, I've rolled, I think it's the rice wrappers before that are, I think, even thinner than this.
They are. And those are the ones you have to get wet first, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those tear more easily than these. These are a little bit more forgiving. And so when we go to roll lumpia, we want to make sure that this texture here is what we're looking for.
Oh, okay.
So you store these in the freezer, and they come out frozen. And so if you don't have time to let them air defrost, the trick is peeling one off and holding it in between your hands to hand defrost them.
Smart.
Yeah. Now that we have our texture, I set up 2 rolling stations, but we're going to show you guys on the first one. So you're going to take your wrapper and make a triangle in front of you, or not a triangle, but a diamond shape in front of you. So a point towards you. You're going to take your spoon. Now some of this is still frozen, so you want to pick around it, but you're going to take your spoon and you're going to get a spoonful of that. You don't want a heaping one, but you don't want a, this is where it gets tricky. That's actually, I think, should be the right amount. So you're going to actually put that towards you on the wrapper. Now, did you guys watch my how to roll video?
There was a
You didn't do your research?
No, I think I might have seen that. I'm not sure.
That's
A while
okay,
ago,
because
maybe.
this is going to be perfect. That way I can explain step by step for your benefit. So I'm going to do one off camera for Lisa, and so she's going to follow along with how I roll. So we want to make sure that it's nice and squished up towards probably 1.5 inches away from your corner. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold your corner over the top of that. Okay, and then you're going to grab your meat through your wrapper and pull towards you. Okay, so you're going to see it through your wrapper. And as you roll up, you're going to continue to pull towards you. That's the secret to getting a tight roll. Okay, so you're going to always tuck under as you roll. When you get about halfway, you're going to stop.
Okay.
You're going to put your 4 fingers over the top of your meat. This is how you know it's the right size. Grab your right corner and pull to the left over the top of your pointer finger. And then your other fingers hold it into place. Okay, now you can put that on top, and we're going to go roll one more, we're going to roll one more. Do the same thing over the left side. Now if you have a little bit of a tail out, you can tuck it back in. It's okay. And then you're just going to roll forward. Now if you see that your wrapper is going out like this, you can take these folds and tuck them to make them go further inward. And then as you're rolling, you're tucking under as you roll. And then what you're going to do, you can grab a little bit of the egg, hit the top corner, and voila.
And do I do like just around the edges or just
Nope,
like all
just
the way
the top
across?
corner.
Okay.
Look at that.
Ah,
You rolled your first lumpia.
isn't it beautiful? I love that. That's
You wanna
super
try
cool.
one?
Let me
Your
try.
turn. Oh, mine's bigger than yours though.
It's okay. It takes practice to get it down to size. So we're going to do this again. That's for you.
Right, we're going to see how well I can listen to directions and follow them,
Okay.
which actually is probably not very well.
And I'm going to do one with you, so you're here every step of the way with me.
I have it on my wrapper. It's
Okay.
about 1.5 inches from the edge. I've squished my meat.
Yep.
I'm going to fold this over and I'm going to pull it towards me.
Very true.
I'm going to, whoops, pick up these bits that I'm dropping out of here. I'm going to keep rolling and pulling towards me.
I like to call it the tuck and roll.
The tuck and roll.
The tuck and roll.
Until I get about halfway. And then I'm going to take this end and fold it over, hold it with my finger, and then I just pull my hand out.
You
and
pull
do
your
the
finger
other
out.
side.
Roll
Okay.
one more.
Roll one more.
Otherwise,
Whoops.
you get a chunk of wrapper in one spot.
Right.
So I like to evenly
That makes
distribute the
sense.
wrapper.
Nice.
Okay.
There you go.
Right. So I'm still
Tuck and
rolling
roll.
and pulling towards me. And I do see that this corner is edging out, so I'm going to tuck that under. Tuck a tad under here just because. Just because.
It's like wrapping
Just
a...
because I'm OCD and
It's okay.
one
It's like
side
wrapping
I
a
need to
present.
tuck the other.
Oh, you gotta put your egg.
Oh, before I.
Yeah, you see how
okay.
much I have left? I just put a dot on the end
Okay.
Okay.
because all it takes just a little bit.
Oh, I was like, oh,
Just
make
a
sure it
dabble,
stays
do you?
closed.
Just a dabble to you.
That sounds
That's right,
like
just a dabble to you.
brill cream, which is probably not good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now mine are
yeah.
longer than yours also.
probably because you're holding it like this.
Bigger.
So my fingers actually tell me the width of the lumpia. Let me put this in front of your camera. So my fingers actually tell me the width of my lumpia. And so as I'm tucking and rolling, I'm pulling to the inside. And the other thing that I do, if I have an itty bitty bit of meat out here before I tuck over, I actually pull that meat over with the wrapper. So it gives me my, don't be afraid to get physical with your wrapper. Don't be afraid to get physical with the wrapper. Even though they're fragile, they are still very pliable and very stretchy.
Okay.
So you can actually
Oh,
feel the tug on it.
Pretty sturdy.
Yeah, so they are pretty stretchy, however they will tear. Right?
Okay.
And that's something that I can actually fix with egg. I've taken a wrapper that's been torn in half before and repaired it with an egg and
Wow.
used it. Because I sell these in batches of 25. 25 come in a pack.
Aha.
So I don't have any room for error.
Yeah.
So
Right.
this pack
Mhm.
is a pack of spring roll shells. I'm trying to get these where we can see them on the camera. You can see that we have the camera angled so that it shows what we're doing rather than us. So,
And I can send you my ingredient list that has all of the brand names.
Oh, cool. That would be fab.
now, are these the best brands, have you found?
Yes, I don't wrap with any other wrapper. Not
Okay.
because I'm a wrapper snob, but because I have found that these are the most durable and they roll a perfect roll every time. And so that might be too much meat.
Oh.
And the reason I say that is because when you put too much in here, then the wrapper tends to break.
So do you think that's a better amount?
Yes, much
Okay.
better amount. So we're gonna try it again.
So you can do this beside.
Now that you're an expert
You can
here.
have 3 wrappers going at the
Okay.
same time.
Now in the Philippines, they make their own wrappers.
Nice.
And they're circle shaped.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, now how do they roll?
Now they roll the same exact way, or the tuck and roll. So they roll the same exact way, except theirs are a little bit more breakable. When my sister-in-law came here back in February and she was gonna roll with me, she was very happy about these wrappers. She's like, oh, these are great. You know, the ones in the Philippines, they break easily, and you know, so we went through all of that, and she really loves these wrappers. These wrappers are amazing.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, they have circle ones. Some of them they make themselves. Other ones they can buy from the store. But why buy when you can make it for yourself, right?
Now, have you ever made your own?
I have
wrapper?
not, and I think that's something that I should probably try.
That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Oops, I forgot to
Uh-oh.
roll one more time,
Yep.
so I've unrolled that.
All right, so mine is definitely smaller this time.
It
so
is.
now I'm going to compare to. Oh, now it's too short.
No, but that's okay.
I'm
You're
doing
getting
the
there.
same
The
thing.
other thing you have is that it's flat.
Right.
Right. So what you see when you're rolling, my sister-in-law had this problem when she first started rolling with me. I have a different standard of rolling than a lot of other people do, and so like you see how I was able to reshape that.
Yeah.
So when I actually go to roll my meat, I actually shape my meat to the wrapper shape that I want. Right. So as I'm rolling, I'm making sure it's nice and round in a cylinder.
Right.
I've had a lot of experience in rolling, so I mean, you know, it takes a little bit of time. There's only one person that has actually been able to keep up with me and my standard of rolling.
Ooh.
So
who
I
was
can do
that?
25 lumpia in 15 minutes.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm
We
impressed.
need to get on the ball here.
I can do 25 lumpia in 15 minutes, and my niece Angela, who is now back in
Oh.
college,
Oh, okay.
yeah, she left this week to go back in college, and
She's a sweetie, I like
I
Angela.
know, I love her. And so she actually learned how to roll with me, and so she rolls as tightly as I do, as fast as I do. So we can, in 1 hour, for the both of us, do 200 lumpia.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's
okay.
insane.
Well, I need to get cracking.
Right.
Yeah, so you see how you just flattened out your meat? Yeah, so you want to make sure that when you're rolling, tuck and roll. And as you're rolling, you can mush the meat. It's like, think of it as Play-Doh.
Yay!
Yep,
All right, so that looks a little rounder.
it does.
So let's see if I can
Now
keep
continue
that
to
going.
tuck and roll as you go.
Yeah, I feel like I was definitely mushing as I
Mhm.
mushing flat.
Yeah,
as
and
I
that
went.
that typically is a problem that shows up a lot when people are novice in rolling. Is, you know, they're so concentrating on making sure that the roll is there that they forget that it's a roll.
Right, right. And what I like about eating yours is that they are nice and round. I think I like that.
Now,
So, I
vegetable
definitely want
lumpia. Now, if you recall in our conversation, I prefer that you roll the meat one because the meat is more for beginners. Vegetable lumpia is when you make the filling, it's very wet.
Oh, okay.
The inside, the filling is very wet, so it's very moist. These wrappers don't do well with moisture.
Oh.
Oh,
So when you're rolling, you have one shot in rolling the vegetable lumpia.
Good gracious, thank you for not letting us do
Yeah,
that.
and you have to roll it very quickly. And once you get like 10 or 15 done, you have to put them right in the freezer.
Wow.
Otherwise, they leak right through the wrapper. It's pretty rough. So
Goodness.
I have tried many different ways of doing the vegetable lumpia, not chopping it up so finely, julienning everything, draining all the juices out. But with vegetables, see, look at that.
Okay.
It might be long, but hey, it's rolled.
Yes. All right.
She's
She's
becoming an expert here.
Maybe by the end of this video, I will be.
I've also actually drained the lumpia, but it produces its own moisture, which typically runs through the wrapper itself. So,
Right.
oh, look at you, you're doing better too. See, that's all it took. It was like what, 1, 2, 3, 4 lumpia.
Yeah.
Which is better than most, I say.
Yeah, we're not
Daniel
even
is still not allowed to roll lumpia.
Oh dear.
If you guys want to know what my standards are, even my own husband cannot roll lumpia with me.
It's funny.
Now, tell us, Jennifer, about cooking.
Cooking. Okay.
Now, when we got these, we got your lumpia, and of course we love them. But we had to call you and say,
Yes.
should we put them in the
Yeah.
oven? Should we put
right.
them
How
in
do
the
we cook
frying
it?
pan? We weren't sure. Should we cook them from frozen? Should we
And-
thaw them first?
And of course,
Did you learn a lesson?
we've watched your videos
Okay.
with seeing and hearing the lovely frying sound. So I mean, we knew that was like
The way
the
to go.
ultimate.
We knew
work,
that you
but
fried them, but we weren't sure. Did you fry them from fresh?
right.
Did you fry them
Frozen.
from frozen?
Okay, because I think because
Frozen.
ours were frozen, of course. So then we're like, wait, now what do we do? Because they're frozen. Do we have to thaw them first? Do we just put them straight in frozen?
Yeah.
We were a little
So
confused.
typically the way that you're going to buy lumpia, whether it be from me or from a store, it's going to be frozen. And now some places I will have to do a viewer discretion is advised. Some stores actually roll their meat raw. And so the cooking process happens when it's in the fryer.
Oh,
I found
So
that out the hard way. You
that
just
would
stack
be
them nice and pretty.
important.
Yeah, that's
to
important
cook them
information
long
for
enough.
everyone to know,
Yeah.
is that sometimes you will get these and they are going to be raw inside. And oftentimes you
Is
will
there a
not
way to
know
tell? Oh,
until it's too late. And that's happened to me. I did not have time to make some, and so I bought some for an event. I fried them and they were completely raw on the inside.
oh, not good.
And I was like, oh,
Surprise.
sorry.
Oh.
And so I usually like to cook my meat very thoroughly prior to making lumpia. She's getting to be a pro over here. Look how tight that is.
I have noticed that mine are lopsided. So now my
Lopsided.
next goal
Oh, you're
is
talking about
to-
where the
Yeah, I'm not doing it straight down, I'm doing like,
It's okay because I do those too.
Okay.
I do those all the time.
oh, that's
What matters to
Oh.
what matters in the rolling factor and the cooking factor of them is how tightly they're rolled. If they're
Oh, okay.
rolled loosely, they fall apart in the fryer.
Ah.
Especially if you don't freeze them prior to cooking them.
That makes sense.
So if you buy lumpia from the store, they're most likely frozen, and that's usually the best way to cook them, and because it holds the meat together on the inside while the outside gets nice and toasty brown. And for the vegetable lumpia, I recommend cooking them frozen because
Okay.
they become very leaky because of the
Right.
moisture
That's
inside.
good to know.
Yeah, because of the moisture inside the lumpia. And so I recommend, there's several ways that you can do it, and I've seen it done, right? So the smaller the lumpia, I do these little half-size ones that are not this big, but they are like the size of my pinky, which they're adorable, like little snack size ones.
I think I've seen those must have been on your channel maybe
Yeah.
or something. Yeah,
I
they're,
have
they're
to
really
tell
cute.
you, if you gave me those for snack, I'd be eating twice as many as I
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why
Those are
that's why I like to advertise them as a party tray.
Aw, nice.
They're great for parties because they're little finger foods, and so those actually do very well in an air fryer because they are small.
Oh.
The surface area there's less to really crisp up, And so those do really well in an air fryer. I've heard these do.
Beautiful.
She's getting so much better.
This, yeah,
I
I'm
have
proud
to
of
keep
this
reminding
one.
myself after I fold, then I have
Roll
to go
one.
and roll one.
Yeah,
because
I've done a
had
couple
to
of times. I'm like, oh wait, no,
redone.
I have to back up. Oh, that's like a work of art.
Yes, it is. So an air fryer is one way to go. You can actually put them in the oven. However, what I would recommend is that you brush them with oil. So in the oven, you can do 350, 400 in the oven. Brush them with oil. So you're basically going to use your oven like a big toaster, right? So you're just looking for a nice crispy outside. They're not going to get golden brown like they would in a fryer, but you're going to look for a nice crispy outside. You leave them in the oven too long, they get too crispy. These wrappers typically do not do well under pressure.
Okay.
That is interesting that they won't get brown, because I would have had them in the oven
Until they were brown. That's why I say, don't wait for them to get brown, because they won't.
And we did notice when we fried them that they went very quickly.
It depends on the heat that you have them on. So when you're doing a pan fry on your stove top, and you're not doing a batch of 30 or more, don't deep fry them.
Right.
So you can get a small frying pan, put about a half an inch of oil in the frying pan. Whatever oil you choose, my mom likes to use olive oil. It typically is a heavier oil, so you have to wait for it to heat up longer.
Okay.
So I heat my oil to about, everybody has like 1 to 10 on their oven, on their stovetop. I start my oil out at 6 and I back it down to 4
Oh, okay.
before I put the lumpia in.
That's good to know. 'Cause
And there are several ways that you can test your oil to see if it's hot. The first way is the old-fashioned throw water at it.
Oh,
if
yes.
it pops at you.
I was gonna say, I think I know that way. Yeah.
If it pops at you,
Yeah.
then it's ready. The other way is if you have any wooden kitchen utensils, you can stick the bottom end into the frying, like put it down to the bottom. And if it bubbles around it, your oil is ready.
Oh, okay.
So like my
that's
wooden
nice.
spoon,
Your
I
wooden
would
spoon,
take
just
the
put the
handle
end,
of my wooden
and if
spoon
it bubbles
on
around it, nice and like what you would expect for bubbling, then the oil is ready.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I learned that recently, so that's
Oh,
not
cool.
something that's been a often thing that I've done.
Because that's a useful trick. Because
It
really,
is.
do you really want water popping at you? Not
Exactly.
so
You want
much.
splash water in there.
Yeah.
The one thing that I would say to be careful is when you have these in the freezer for quite some time, you do get freezer burn,
Yes.
which is okay because they still cook really well.
Oh yes, and actually we had 3 left from the last time we got them from you, which was a while ago, and they did have some extra ice around them.
Yes. So be
But,
careful when you put those in the
yes,
oil.
yes. But I cooked them anyway, and they still tasted really good, and they cooked just fine. But
Yes.
So
These
that was
are
our
amazing.
concern when we called you and said, how do we cook these? Our concern was that there was some ice on these older
Yes.
ones, because the problem was we only had 3 left.
Mm-hmm.
I like them, Lisa likes them. 3 between
So-
us just doesn't work.
so we had to do 3 old ones and then new ones to make enough. So,
That one turned out
but
really
we
good.
cooked them all at the same time, old ones and new ones.
Yeah.
And then they were all
Yeah.
great.
They hold very well in the freezer. It's interesting how well these things hold in the freezer.
Yes, and really, I think that batch was from May of 2020.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you guys
So
ordered
yeah,
them.
everyone listening to that, but they were still really
And those are
good.
the vegetable ones that
Yes.
should go bad sooner rather than later.
And they were still wonderful.
Yeah.
So I am noticing as I'm rolling these, some of this meat's a little wet. I see that
Yeah.
you've had it frozen, and I am seeing
That
how
it's soaking
it's
through.
seeping
Yep.
through here. So I'm trying to be extra careful with that, but I can
Yes.
imagine how challenging that would be if it was vegetables.
Absolutely. I usually like to put, once I've cooked my meat, I like it to be in the fridge at least overnight prior to rolling it. Because I don't want to drain the fat out of it, because the fat is what gives the flavor. I don't drain any of my meat. So that's secret number 1.
That's moisture. It's
Everybody
good.
drains their meat. I do not. all of these little white parts are the fat deposits.
Okay.
And it just gets mixed up. Secret number 2 to having good rolling meat. This is not giving away any part of my recipe.
So we're gonna have to, our video title, Secrets.
Secrets revealed. Secret number 2 to have really good rolling meat for texture. It did not come out of the frying pan in this texture.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh.
actually put this in my food processor
Oh, right. Okay.
and broke it up so that it's easier to roll. Yep. All right,
Nice.
so when she's done with that, we're going to show you guys how to do the minis. I've prepped the
Okay.
minis, and they're so cute and adorable. When I first made them, there was a whole bunch of, oh, they're so cute in the house. So the only thing I cannot do in the minis is the vegetable, which is really weird.
Oh.
Simply because the vegetable typically seeps through the wrapper.
Right.
Okay, I'm not getting faster with these, but I am getting
You are getting faster with them. Look at that.
more symmetrical.
Look at that. So you're not going to be able to tell between what's mine and what's yours.
Woohoo!
So I'm going to give you guys one of these each. These are the half wrappers.
Oh.
We're going to roll these together. Typically what I do is if I have an order for minis, I will take a thawed pack and I will take my scissors and cut them in half, my kitchen scissors.
Oh.
Handy.
Instead of using a knife. I used to use knives all the time, and I was like, can't ever get the same cut twice, so I just,
Nice.
and it's perfect. So what we're gonna do is when you go to get your meat,
Oh, okay.
this is all you're gonna get.
A teensy bit.
Like
teensy bit.
That much? Is that much, right?
A little bit too much.
Oh, oh dear.
Yep.
Struggling with this.
Try that.
That
yet.
much?
That much.
Okay. All right, now I have to look. All right, so it's still
Okay.
at the
Right in the
So,
middle.
Is this
and-
too much? Yes, it looks
just
like
a little
all in
bit, yeah.
yours.
Yep,
Better?
right there. Try that.
Okay. Right in the middle of this?
In the middle, and you want like a 1/4 inch from the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here's the kicker. This is where it gets interesting, okay? Because we don't have all of this wrapper to perfect our roll. So we're going to take the right side and fold it over the left, and this is where the 1/4 inch comes into play. I do the same thing when I do the strawberry and cream cheese, which I did not have anymore. Otherwise, I would brought you guys some. Is I take this and I pinch around to create that little shape. And it's also to use the juices from the meat to seal the wrapper on the bottom.
Oh, smart.
Mhm.
Double duty. That's clever.
So I pick up whatever was folded underneath, I fold up. I don't know if you can see that on my hand. I fold up and I roll once,
Okay.
but keeping the shape.
Get round, right?
Keeping the shape.
Oh,
Continue to roll.
It's already cute.
I know. I know. Keeping the roll, and then when you get probably about halfway up, you're gonna fold over your other side. Now you're gonna have a tail, so you just fold that tail back in.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're also on the left side, your wrapper is gonna angle out, so we're just gonna tuck that in before we roll.
Okay.
And then you're gonna continue to roll to the top. Once you get to the top, you seal her up with a kiss, and it's done. And then you have a tiny itty bitty lumpia. Look how cute those are.
Oh, mine's a little chunky. On
And
one
what's
side. Oh,
even
well.
cuter is they all have belly buttons.
That's adorable.
They all have little belly
Alrighty.
buttons. Some are outies, like this one. This one's an outie. Some are innies.
Wow. That's precious.
I have one left who wants to try another one.
You go for it, Mom.
All right.
Yours ended up.
But yeah, those are the snack size, and those.
Nice. Yeah, I would just eat a lot of them.
Yes,
instead
we
of
all do.
small amount. Yeah.
We are just rolling these on paper towels.
Yeah, that's all they
Yeah,
are.
so easy.
Yeah, and see, the belly buttons on these aren't as cute.
No.
That's
no.
why these are adorable.
Yeah. Those are precious.
I had a batch of 50 piled up while I was rolling them, the little ones, and I just looked over, and I didn't realize at first that they were belly buttons on them. And I looked over, I was like, those are a whole bunch of little belly buttons. They're so
Aw.
cute.
That's neat. I love that.
Oh,
So I guess
adorable.
that's like playing with your food.
Pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Tuck in your tail, yep. Those tails sometimes sneak up on you and you don't realize you have a tail as much as you do. we'll do one more pack together
All right.
so that you guys can, and I'll roll with you guys.
Okay.
But you guys can share this pack,
Alrighty.
and I'll roll from another pack.
We'll see if the two of us can roll
Right.
a whole pack between
Yes.
us and the time it takes Jennifer to roll a whole pack by herself.
And this
We'll-
one is
we'll race.
kind of frozen. I want you guys to feel this first.
Right.
This
Oh
pack.
yes, solid, solid.
Oh, and this one's actually more so than the other one.
Yep, so I have to work on mine. So I have a handicap
Oh, good.
on mine.
Did I say that out loud?
She did. That's okay. I'm a professional. I can do this. But yeah, this is how you warm them up
We'll
to
give you the
texture.
frozen clumps of meat.
Oh, thanks. Even better. So there's 3 spoons in there that we can use.
And here is our first bag of 25 lumpia. We're so proud of it.
Thanks for joining us on our lumpia rolling adventure. Give us a like, subscribe below, and order lumpia from Jennifer's Facebook. See you next time.